Oh, snaps. 1, 2, 1, 2. Let me make sure everything's on point. What up, party people? Yeah. Sounding fresh. Here we are. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are. New episode of Live from the Lab with yours truly, Q-Unique. Got a nice little new desk setup, as you can see. Everything is kind of like getting compact. Got my Scarlett over there now. It was on the other side before, and I know you don't care about these details, but as usual, my allergies are kicking in right around this time. I can't explain it. It's a weird phenomenon. I was just having this conversation with Stutters. I was like, for some reason, Wednesday nights, my sinuses are like, fuck you. It's like the craziest thing ever, man. No. What up? Let me see who's in the chat today. All right, we got Gorilla Strong, of course. What up, baby? Machiavelli, Mir Depp, Detroit Throwers. Yeesh K, what's the deal? Yeah, everybody's here. Die Gray Sky holding it down, of course. And I am Q-Unique, the host for Live from the Lab, and many other hats that I wear that are now in the hat box for today, not for this show. Made no sense. Anyway, so, ladies and gentlemen, I hope everybody's doing well. The holidays have been rolling in. Hopefully everybody had a good Thanksgiving, and now we're looking at closing up the year and all of the cool stuff that comes along with it and all of that good stuff. So before I move into the book report for today, I want to first say that if you're here for the first time, please like and subscribe, get notified, and all of that good stuff. We do this show every Wednesday, and we do another show every Friday nights. That's more of the chill and hang and talk and just chat about a variety of subjects. Usually on Wednesdays, I do the book report. I have a subject for today. We'll go over that in a few. Couple of announcements. The first thing I want to announce is, if you haven't caught wind of it, I released a new single with Lord Goat, aka Gore-Tex, from the Mighty Nonfiction. The name of the single is called Toxic Holocaust. If you haven't heard it, please check it out, add it to your playlist, whatever have you. Thanks for streaming it and sharing it and all that good stuff. You know, working with anyone from Nonfiction, that's family, and to be able to get that single out before the year ended is definitely a special thing. And I produced the track, as well as me and go to trading zombie apocalypse bars. It was a lot of fun doing that, man. I love when we could come up with a subject that isn't really done in you know what I mean. You get the point. Also, where are we? Oh, also, I want to announce that I've been announcing for the past few weeks is that the new single has dropped with myself and Sonny from the band POD, Sonny Sandoval. It's going to be included in his solo album. It's called Sunny Dread, and I actually have 2 songs on that album. And both songs I produced, and I'm trading bars with Sunny. For those that know the band POD, brilliant band, and I've known those homies for quite some time. For those that know all the details, Wav, the drummer from POD, was in my group Stillwell. We recorded a few albums together, so we've been a family circle for quite some time. So it was really cool to be able to get to work with Sonny on these songs. And I'll have more about myself collaborating with Sonny in the future. But for now, those 2 songs will be on the new Sunny Dread album, which is dropping, I believe, December 11th. So that's next week. And it's kind of fascinating. Next week is a crazy release schedule. And that is because I believe on the 11th, the album, Sonny's solo album drops. And then on the 12th, Nas and DJ Premier are dropping the album. The reason why I mentioned that, because as usual, I like to keep things interesting. On the 12th, I am releasing a brand new Q-Unique single called Put It in the Air. And so there's a lot of stuff for you guys to put in your shopping cart and just put in your AirPods and just listen to and show love and spread the word. So I just wanted to be able to make sure you know that the new Q-Unique single, as well as some of my features, are coming out next week. Obviously, I'll be talking about it more on next week's episode. Now, excuse me, if you want to pre-save the new Q-Unique single, just go to qunique.com and it's the first thing you see on the homepage. I believe I might have it. If you go to the link tree here on YouTube and all my other pages, it's there for the pre-save. Gorilla Strongs! Yeah, son. Hey, yo, Gorilla, did you get that poster, son? I sent you posters, son, like a while ago. Like, you're making me nervous. Haven't heard anything. Let me know. Let me see. So that, all of that is all the announcements that I have. Let me see. Let me just make sure I'm trying to jog. Oh, one more announcement. One more. I thought you guys would be excited to know that the Q-Unique and Rhetmatic album is being sent off to get mixed and be ready for next year. We're gonna have a very cool next year with this album. I'm not going to announce any features or anything yet. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. It's being mixed right now, and man, I got to tell y'all, man, I'm very excited. And you know, it's not one of those things where I'm like, oh my God, I got the album that's going to change lives like the Beatles did. Nothing like that, you know what I mean? But it's more of, when you're in this position and you're on this journey and you put out album after album, you just don't know what, when you put out an album, you don't know what the next one's going to be. And so working with Rhetmatic was definitely a surprise. Myself and Rhett, we've known each other for a long time. You know, Visionaries and the Beat Junkies and the Arsonists, Fat Beats, Rocksteady, all of that. We're connected by so many different stripes on the sleeve. It's like, you know, to be able to do a whole album with him and have people join us on the journey it's very special, man. So get ready for next year, man. It's going to be a lot of fun with that album. And also there'll be new Mother Fuzz music coming out as well. And I'm excited about that. And so a lot of new things. I guess because we're in December, we're looking at the end of the year, I just want to make sure that we talk about what's coming out next year, as well as to remind you guys that this year I dropped It's Not Over, the single, Let's Go Vamonos Andiamo, the single, Remember Me, the single, Toxic Holocaust, the single, and I've been doing a lot of new like verse clips for YouTube and shorts and reels, and obviously the live show started this year, and it's been an extremely productive year, man. And I gotta thank y'all so much for just riding with me. You know what I mean? I don't want to get into a big emotional speech yet. Excuse me. Wednesday Allergy, that's what I should call this as, like the subtitle of this show. Wednesday Allergies with Q. I don't understand. It's a phenomenon, trust me. You like that? Get the fuck up. Shout out to Pharaoh Monch, one of the greatest of all time. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the book report. Thank you, Gorilla Strong. Thank you. And Gorilla Strong, definitely keep an eye out, because I sent it. Man, I have to see if I can find a receipt or something, because now I'm kind of like, oh, actually, I do have a way to look at where it's at. So I'm gonna check later on that poster, but thank you for your patience. Well, you're gonna have to blame UPS for any lateness, man. I don't know what's going on. I hate when that shit happens. Anyway, Today's book report, today's episode is about something that I would have never predicted in a gajillion years. Okay? Let me set the table for you so you know where I'm coming from. Everybody, the vocals sound cool, so, just let me know. I'm just making sure. Imagine you're a kid and during a very volatile moment in your life where your parents are going through a very, very rough patch and you don't understand, and all of a sudden, I did not, Machiavelli. I did not. I'll get into that in a little bit. Let me get into this book report, but I want to talk about that. So thank you for bringing that up for reals. Thank you, Detroit. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, so and remember, guys, the super chats and the super stickers are up. Thank you, Gorilla Strong, for starting it off. All right, let's get into this. So what I was saying is, imagine you're this kid and things at home are really, really, really bad, and it is decided that you and your brother are going to go and live with your grandmother in the Bronx. Now, as a kid, I didn't understand. I had no idea what that would mean for my life. And when I got there, what I arrived at was something so special, and that would be watching hip hop in this early stage. Now I'm just a kid, so I don't really understand what I'm looking at. I just think that it's cool. I think it looks like fun. And it's because all the kids in the neighborhood that were already living there were already a part of this thing. I already saw people doing graffiti and I saw people DJing and I saw people breaking and rapping, but I didn't understand because I never seen anything like that before. And surprisingly, this was like when breaking was kind of like on its way out and the crack era was about to begin. So it was a weird segue for me because I'm catching glimpses of this movement and it's about to shift. But what makes it fascinating is that before the shift, there's a homie that comes in this chat. His name is Jay Bugsy. He's a homie that has known me since I was a child. He lived on my grandmother's block. So we were all kids on my grandmother's block. Now, Jay was one of the best breakers on the block, if not the best breaker on the block. He was nice. And he was in this crew called the Feeling Fresh Breakers. And it would be him and this kid that lived next door to my grandmother named Jay, that they would be the first people I saw breaking, right? And it was like alien to me. I didn't understand. But like I said, I thought it was cool. So I wanted to learn as much as I could, but the clock was running out. Like I said, there was a major shift coming. So anyway, I learned a little bit, we're having fun, and all of a sudden, members of the Rocksteady crew start showing up to my grandmother's block. Can't even explain it. What are the odds? And they're not there because of the kids like me and Jay and Jason and all that. They're there because there was an older kid that we called White Boy Lou. And it's funny because he was actually Dominican, but he had blonde hair and like green eyes or something. So his nickname on the street was White Boy Lou. Anyway, because they were all older kids, they were doing street shit and whatever have you, and we were just tripping because we were seeing these guys in the movies Beat Street and all of that. So for us, it was the first time ever seeing anything close to a celebrity, and it was surreal. And then all of a sudden, they would come to where we were hanging on my grandmother's block and teach us moves. And those two were Buck Four, who passed away, sadly, may he rest in peace, and his brother Flex. And it like, even when I think of it now, the odds are like 1,000,000 to 1 that out of all the blocks in the Bronx that they could show up to hang out and do whatever they were doing, and then meet up with like some kids and teach them moves, that like the odds that I was one of those kids makes no sense. Now, during that time is when I first thought the phrase, and if you know my catalog, you'll understand why I'm saying this. During that time was the first time in my thoughts I was like, I wish I could be down with Rocksteady. And me and my friends, we would talk like that all the time. Man, I wish I was in Rocksteady. I wish. The reason why I say that, because years and years and years later, when I became an arsonist, we put out a single called "Used to Wish I Could Break with Rocksteady." What's up, John Milburn? What's going on? So it connects to that moment in my life where members of Rocksteady come into my block. They're showing us moves. We're watching videotapes of Beat Street, and Wild Style, and Style Wars, and the music videos had breakers, and it's all good, John Milburn. And that was the first time I had that thought. Now, here's where it gets interesting. I had to set that up, and I'm sure I'm going to be telling this story from a little different, because I hope to have Crazy Legs on the show. He'll probably be the first guest of the year for next year. So let's see how that all turns out. But he has agreed. Now, the reason why I brought all of this stuff up about me being a kid and seeing members of Rocksteady show up and just like having these thoughts is because, no, I have allergies, John. It's like every Wednesday, my sinuses are like, listen, we want to be on your show. You should talk with your sinuses totally screwed. So it's not a cold. It's funny because I already did my morning cardio, all of that shit, no sinus problems. For some reason, as soon as it gets close to the show, my sinuses are like, ah! So go figure. It's life, man. Life be life. Anyway, not a big deal. So the reason why I said all of this is because in that patch of time, White Boy Lou on my birthday brings Crazy Legs to my grandmother's house. So this is the very first time I meet Crazy Legs. I'm just a kid. So you got to understand, Crazy Legs was a rock star during those years. He was incredibly famous in New York, and for White Boy Lou to show up to my door with Crazy Legs at my grandmother's house, it was like you might as well have brought like one of the Beatles at that point, you know? Like I was like tripping, and I was a kid, so I'm like, hey man, thank you for coming to my birthday. You want to come in? And I introduced him to my grandmother, and I was like, you want a piece of birthday cake and all of that stuff? And he's like, nah, little man, I just wanted to say happy birthday to you, man. Have a great day. And he left it, and he left. But again, this is all for a reason. So fast forward, I'm still living with my grandmother, and this is years later. The b-boy, that first phase of b-boying kind of like died out in the system, and hip hop had turned into something else during the crack era. It became something way different, and for me, beautiful. It's beautiful. You know, if you know me, you know that my favorite era is the crack era out of all eras. I love all eras, but the crack era is beautiful. So, thank you, sinuses. I appreciate that. My sinuses want to talk. So, anyway, at this point, I'm doing little raps around the neighborhood, going to house parties, getting on the mic, kicking my little bullshit raps. And part of my hang circle at that time one of the people that was hanging was Crazy Legs' sister through one of the homegirls that used to hang. And it still, again, it doesn't make sense like when I look at the story, but nonetheless, we were all in school together. And I happened to make some demo tapes with a friend of mine named Tito G, who passed away, and another brother named Richie Chronic, who he's still around. He used to produce beats for me, and I used to make little demo tapes. He had like a little 4-track machine, and uh, the girl that was hanging gave it to Crazy Legs' sister. She gave him the tape, and so on and so forth. I it this is where life just changes. Crazy Legs gets the tape. He wants to meet me. He meets me, and from that moment, from that very moment, everything changes. Now, let me get into the book report. Let's get into the first section of the book report. When it comes to my career, it all begins with becoming a member of the legendary Rocksteady crew. This membership would define all of my early steps and solidify what it was that I was doing, which was real and proper hip hop, with Crazy Legs himself taking me under his wing and becoming a mentor for me on my early years. It was because of him that I would be able to participate and take part in some of the most incredible experiences that I've ever had early in my career. Let me tell you a quick story of how crazy it was, man. I'm sorry, I'm just catching Mir Depp's comment, but he said that was crazy, man. That was crazy. Um, Let me tell you, just to give you a brief idea of the impact Crazy Legs had. He was the first person to bring definition to what hip hop was to me, so that I understood what it was that I was a part of. So he was able to break down the history for me. He was breaking down the elements for me, how things got made, who did what, where, how, all of that. So that's number one. He was like a teacher, like a sensei, giving me these lessons. Became a member of Zulu simultaneously. He gets me my first 2 record deals, and then he takes me all over the city to like the most elite and awesome hip hop events and parties in New York City at that time. Just to give you an idea of how I do, John Milburn. I love hip hop from here to France to Japan to the West Coast to the East Coast to the South. I don't really just I love it all. I love it. I love music, period, from every corner of the world. Just to give you an idea of how Crazy Legs was, what the way he was so giving as a mentor. There was one time we went to this club called The Bank, and when we walked in, it was full of all like the greatest from the 90s. I'm talking leaders of the new school, Tribe Called Quest, Brand Nubians, Lord Finesse, I mean, Curious George. I mean, the list goes on and on. This was like a regular occurrence for me. And because Crazy Legs was like a mentor and was like, I was like a, what would you call that? Um, an apprentice, like in many ways. So we go to this club, all these people are there, and we're chilling, and I'm watching. I could see in the distance, I could see Busta Rhymes, and he's got like a crowd around him, and there's a bunch of different celebrities around him. And Crazy Legs turns to me and he goes, yo, wait right here. I want to talk to Bus real quick. I'm like, all right, cool. Now you got to imagine, this is 90s Bus. This is like, he's super skinny. He's got the dreadlocks, leaders of the new school. Different person from where he's at now. So Crazy Legs goes up to him. I'm standing there, I'm watching them talk. I can't hear what they're saying because he's like on the other side of the club. But in my mind, I'm like, man, you know, like I wish I could be in that conversation. But it didn't matter because what he was preparing was cool. So he comes back. What up, Ben? What's the deal? He comes back and he's just chilling. And I don't ask anything. I'm just like in my head, like, man, I wish I was in that conversation, but whatever. So what I forgot to mention, it was my birthday that day. So I was just, obviously, I was excited to just be there. And so Busta Rhyme gets on stage and he starts, like the DJ's throwing on instrumentals and Bus starts calling people on stage. He's like, yo, let me get Lord Finesse, Sadat X, Fife Dog. Like he's naming like people that we all consider gods. He's naming them one by one. Lord Jamar, all of it, like going. It was insane. And then as he's getting to the end of his shout outs of who to come on stage, he goes, and Q-Unique, get your ass up here. Now I've told this story before, but it's just to give you the premise of how my life changed when Crazy Legs became my mentor. Like it just changed. I went from a kid doing street raps, not knowing what I was doing, to a member of Rocksteady with a mission statement, with the know-how, with now I know what I'm doing, or I have an idea. Now, let's get to the second part of my book report. The fact is, I was put down in Rocksteady as an MC, not a breaker. But as fate would have it, Crazy Legs would ask me to make an appearance in a variety of some of the best rap videos during that time ever made. I could break, but it was never on the level of what a professional b-boy could do. I knew the basics good enough to pass to be in a video, I guess. If anything, I just felt super privileged and extremely appreciative of being able to have these experiences. And I'm gonna get to that right away. So here's a little we're gonna go do some little photo flip for y'all. There's early picture of me and Crazy Legs at a photo exhibit. That's an Ernie Panacoli photo of an Ice Cube, and we're just look peep my Zulu beads, son. Making my own beads back then, son. That's a young Q right there. What we got now? Oh, let's bring this down. There's me and Crazy Legs during. There's me and Crazy Legs during the anniversary. What's up, Eon? What's the deal? Thank you. Is that good for allergies? Let me know, Eon, because that's what I'm dealing with, right? So that's me and Crazy Legs backstage during one of the Rocksteady anniversaries. That's me and Crazy Legs in the New York Post. As you can see, it says Crazy Legs Bust the Move with Rocksteady pal MCQ Unique. Really, really cool moment. You know, like to be able to, be in a newspaper with the guy who helped, start my career. And that's me, my son, and Crazy Legs back in the day during a photo shoot for, I forgot what it was for. It was some clothing line or something, but that was a really cool movement right there. So that's all the Crazy Leg stuff. Let me get ready for the next segment here. Okay, dope. We're ready. Now, okay. So now what I'm going to show you is, and what I'm getting at is that I was put down, like I said, I was put down in Rocksteady to be an MC, a rapper. That was my intention, but it turned into more of being a representative of hip hop itself, and that would mean that I DJ'd. So I DJ'd a lot of the breakbeat events and different a variety of events that Crazy Legs asked me to DJ for. I learned DJing by working at Fat Beats. And then the surprise for me was when Crazy Legs would randomly call me and ask me to make appearances in some music videos. And so what I want to show you guys is some clips of you're going to see me breaking in a variety of different music videos. And so here's the first one. This one is me breaking. Let me make sure I got this right. So this one is me breaking. This is a quick clip. This is me breaking in the End-to-End Burners Company Flow video. I took the sound out for obvious reasons, but you'll see me, look, it's in slow motion. There I am with my Q-Unique jersey. Let's show that one more time. One more time, baby. I might even pause it right on this. Boom, look at that. Unique 17, 17th letter of the alphabet is Q. It says Q Unique. That's during the arsonist days. And that's Bobbito in the back, sitting in the back right there. And so I'm in the End-to-End Burners video really quick, but I had to slow it down. So that's one of the videos I was in. Right there, it is Mr. Len from Company Flow. Really cool. Stutters, I hope I got this right. Yep. Okay. This next video is me. I'm wearing the same basketball jersey, the Arsonist basketball jersey. You're going to see the Arsonist logo on this one. This one is the Buffalo Gals remix featuring Rakim. And this is me in this video. Look, it's in slow motion. Watch. Real quick. Boom, there's Q Unique, Arsonist. Boom. Really cool stuff, man. I'm going to show it one more time. I'm having fun with this. I'm going to show it one more time, yo. The clips get better. I just wanted to get the early ones out, but that's me breaking in that video there. Now, next. Okay, so this one's really cool. We got a call from Bobbito this time because he had put out our first single, The Session, in Halloween, and he asked us, so you could see Bobbito's right there. He's wearing the red shirt with the white bucket hat. And that's the original, like, almost the entire crew. That's Freestyle, Ching, Destroy, Swell, Jice, and then me and Kinetic in the back. That's the Arsonist back early, like mid-90s. And this is us making a breaking appearance in the Roots Clones video. Check it out. Look, there's us up rocking. There's Jice. That's me doing Turtles. That's us up rocking. And that's homie that passed away, Mars. May he rest in peace. So that was the Arsonist breaking in a Roots video. That was a lot of fun. That was a crazy experience, man. Let's see right there. Okay. Do I remember the movie Breaking? Yeah, I do. But what's up, Reef? What's the deal? Gorilla. I had asked Crazy Legs that question recently because I too was a little confused by that. If I was the first MC, but I'm not sure. We're gonna talk about that, me and Legs. Okay. Getting to this next video. So we were on tour in Australia. It was me with the Rocksteady crew. And I've spoken about this on this show before, but now I'll play the clip. We get a call on one of the last days of the, what's up, Reef? One of the last days of the tour, and Legs is like, yo, when you guys get back to New York, we're gonna be making an appearance in a Gangstar video. And I was like, oh my God, that's amazing, man. I was so hyped. So we land in New York, tried to get as much sleep as we possibly could on the plane, because, you know, from New York to Australia, that's a crazy long flight. Anyway, get in the cab with our luggage, go straight to the video shoot that was shot in Brooklyn. Thank God for me, because at that point I was back in Brooklyn, so it was perfect. And the first thing we do is we get on, there was a bus that Primo had rented, and we walk on, and Primo's there, and he's got boxes of Timbs and all types of stuff, and he's giving us free Timberland boots and just kicking it with us and, you know, thanking us for making the appearance. And then we get called onto the set. And so just to set this one up, I'm the one that's wearing the bucket hat I'm dancing against Crazy Legs in a lot of these clips. You'll see it. And again, I took off the sound for obvious reasons. But here's myself and the rest of members of Rocksteady at the time dancing in the Gangstar Skills video. Check it out. There's Zephyr, there's me in the front doing an up rock, and then there's Guru resting, and that's me battling legs with up rock right there, and there's Guru. Really cool shit, man. Like, and then I got one more up. Let me see. One more. Okay, so the Gangstar video, obviously, rest in peace, Guru, of course, but just to be in a video repping like that for a group that I think all of us love is something special. And I'll get into the rest of my editorial, but here's the final video that I'm going to show. Now, there was another video. Excuse me. Thank you, Gorilla. There's another video that's somewhere in the ethos. This, to me, wasn't my favorite, and I was going to show it regardless, but I couldn't find it. So there was a video. One day I was working at Fat Beats, and Crazy Legs calls me, and he's like, yo, I need you to go to MTV and rep and do some breaking. And I'm like, this dude, like, call somebody that actually does this. I don't do this. But anyway, I did it anyway. So myself and Sweepy, who's a popper down with Rocksteady, we make our way, we meet up at MTV, and we end up breaking live on MTV for Fat Boy Slim. It was the strangest thing, but I can't find the clip. I typed it in. I'll have to probably go dig in a little more. I probably have it on a videotape somewhere, but that's the one video I could not find. But anyway, this last video is kind of cool because this one was shot in Brooklyn, just a couple of blocks away from my house. So it was really cool. This is Def Squad, Eric Sermon, Keith Murray, and Redman covering the Sugar Hill Gang's Rapper's Delight, if y'all remember when Def Squad did that. And I got to dance in this video, which is surreal. When you think about it, it's the Rapper's Delight song. It's with the Def Squad. And in this video, I'm wearing a blue jumpsuit with a white stripe, and I'm wearing a hat to the side. You'll see me. And they gave me a lot of FaceTime in this one. I just picked a variety of clips. There's a lot more if you go and watch the video. But here's me dancing in the Def Squad Rapper's Delight remake video. So check it out. You'll see. That's me right there. Boom. That's me right there, doing it, going for it. And it's my last shot right there. Keith Murray pointing at the screen. What a lot of fun, man. I tell you, man. So with everything that I've seen in my career, to be able to add that I danced in a Roots video, a Gangstar video, a Def Squad video with a remake of Rapper's Delight, and my homies Company Flow, it's pretty surreal for a kid that wanted to do real hip-hop from the moment that I first heard and saw it. It's as though the hip-hop gods were like, this guy right here, we're going to give him the golden ticket to experience all four elements of hip-hop in a very interesting way. And that's how I feel, man. It doesn't make sense in so many ways because so many of us love a specific thing about whatever it is that we love. Let's say you're a metalhead, you love metal and you know the history and you know the people, you know all the players. And then all of a sudden you find yourself on stage with Metallica or something strange. That's pretty much how these things happen. I hear these stories all the time. It's not just me. It's like I meet a lot of people that tell me these things and I'm like, isn't it fascinating where there's this spiritual force that kind of like knows what's in your heart. It knows your intentions, and then it just puts you in this place on this path. And all of a sudden you're experiencing things that just don't make any sense. They don't make any sense. Because listen, here's the truth. You're right, Detroit. You're absolutely right. I would fuck up my whole studio if I did that. Um, Here's the truth. Mathematically, look, if you listen to my catalog, right? Let's say you just listen to Vengeance is Mine. Let's just review Vengeance is Mine, and you listen to the song Father's Day or The Setup or Diamond in the Rough. You instantly get the idea that I wasn't built, I wasn't put together to be in the position that I'm in today. Mathematically, it doesn't add up. And that's where fate, that's where persistence, that's where belief, that's where be in the room, that's where put your head down and do the work. That's where all of these things that everybody says is a cliche come to really work. When they really fucking work, it's magic. The reason why I'm sharing this, it's not about, hey, look at me. I don't give a shit. I say this every time I talk about these subjects. I talk about these things so that it is real to you, so that whatever it is that your passion is, whatever it is that you're working on, whatever it is that you're excited about in your craft, I don't care what it is. I don't care if you want to be a lawyer, a painter, an actor, a carpenter, a poet. None of that matters. What matters is that, and the reason why I'm sharing this is because if you can see it, if you can put the work in, which you should be able to, if you could get in the room, if you could, like just not get caught up in the sparkly shit and just be there and participate and know how to behave. That's the key too. If I didn't look, sure, I was rough around the edges when Crazy Legs met me. Remember, I was a street kid. I was a street kid from Brooklyn and then living in the Bronx with a wild ass father. Big Ben, thank you. So I was rough around the edges. What up, Eric? Ladies and gentlemen, Eric. Ladies and gentlemen, that dude right there, Eric Leonhardt, that is the bass player from Mother Fuzz. Please show him some love, please. Rough yet respectful, exactly, Gorilla. So I'm fortunate that Crazy Legs had grace to deal with me, the patience. Obviously, I was younger than him, so he was smart enough to be like, all right, this kid, he's a street kid, so I get why he could be a little wild and a little rough at times, but there's something about him that I'm gonna get him to the next step. And he did. He did. He is solely responsible for kickstarting my career and giving me all of these experiences that I'm sharing with you. Thank you, Big Ben. I appreciate that. But if I didn't, thank you, Big Ben. Thank you. If I didn't eventually learn how to behave properly, if I didn't work at my craft, if I didn't participate properly, none of this shit would be here. And so you got to put that into your equation. You could have your passion. You could work at your craft, but you also have to know how to be in the room. You also have to know how to play the game as a human being, being respectful of your own space and time and being respectful of other people's space and time. And then all of a sudden, shit starts to open up. And all of a sudden, you're experiencing things like I just shared with you. It's wild. It's wild. It unfolds that way, really. Trust me, man. Put the work in. And it takes time. That's the other thing. Patience. You have to be patient with these things. It does, these things don't happen overnight. Although it might seem like it does sometimes, it just doesn't. It takes time. It really does. It really does, man. So that was the whole point of me sharing this chapter with you, was that here's this person, this street hip hop celebrity, and he's opening doors for me. And then all of a sudden, here I am talking to y'all. And I have this lineage, this experience. And on top of the fact that another reason why I do remember the movie Breakin', John Milburn. I do. Turbo, son. Lucinda Dickey. You think I don't remember Homegirl's name? Ice-T is in Breakin' too. Or was it Breakin' 2? Anyway, another reason why I oh, thank you, Gorilla. Another reason why I bring up this story, and this is actually important about the story, is that you never know where the road is going to lead you, right? Like I spoke about Eric, my bass player, right? And I'm going to get to the point that I'm trying to make. I started out in hip hop just wanting to rap. Today, I'm a multi-genre artist that has danced in videos, that has put out rock albums, that has rapped on a dance pop song for CNC Music Factory that went to #1 on Billboard. It's been in the Arsonists, been in the Nomads, has a solo album, co-produced and co-written Fieldy from Korn's solo bass album. The list goes on and on. You just don't know where it's going to take you. But what I've been told by loved ones, and something that I live by, is like, as long as it's within the community of music and entertainment, it's all good for me at this point. So like, for instance, me and Eric are part of Mother Fuzz. Now, mathematically, again, it doesn't make sense from where I started to where I am now. And what's crazy about that is that Crazy Legs is responsible, again, for me doing rock music, which is something I've talked about to you guys several times, because he was the only one to be able to look at me, who knew me since I was a kid, and said, yo, I know you like rock music. I know you're a real fan of it. Why don't you do it? He was the first one to say that to me. Crazy Legs from the Rocksteady crew. He was the one that set me on he told me what to do, and I took the steps again. Ask Eric how he feels. You know what I mean? Like I'm having the most incredible experience, but I share it with you so that you could have an incredible experience with whatever you're doing. It's real. It's real. But you have to stay disciplined. You have to be disciplined to it, and be patient with it, and take your steps and put the work in. And you'll see some shit, man. So thank y'all for that. That was my book report for today, man. That was a lot of fun, man. Thank you, John Milburn. I appreciate that. Gorilla Strong, you're the best. Thank you. Thank you, Reef. I appreciate that. Thank you, Big Ben. Thank you. All right, this part of the show, this has gotten fun, and I want to continue doing this. So I have another pack of Yo MTV rap cards from the 90s that I'm about to open up. I'm about to open this bad boy up. Now, what I want to do, I was talking to some of the producers of this show, and eventually what I want to do is, if you order something, I might put one of these cards in your order, because I got like triples and quadruples of some of these cards. So, oh, by the way, let me get to that. There we go. Don't forget that let me let me get over here for a second. Don't forget that we still having the sale on qunique.com. As you can see, the Vengeance is Mine CD, $7. Mechanic CD, $7. But if you buy both of them, it's $10. So, and I sign it, and you get a free Between Heaven and Hell autograph poster, and you get stickers and all of that stuff. And I might throw in one of these. Let me come back. Oh, by the way, when you go to the shop, damn it. When you go to the shop, you see the merch, you see the gear. Where am I going, man? No. You got the qunique shirts and hoodies and all of that good stuff. Whether it's through Viper Records or Amazon, there's plenty of qunique shirts and hoodies to go around. But when you order any of these things at the top, whether it's the 20th anniversary Vengeance is Mine coin, or the Arsonist pin, damn it, or the CDs, you get them signed, you get stickers, and a free Between Heaven and Hell poster, and I might even throw in one of these Yo MTV rap cards in. But let's get back to this. All right. Let me wait for the screen. All right, we're gonna open this bad boy up. Y'all ready? Reveal time. Thank you, sinuses, for toning it down a little bit. Okay. It's open, son. It's open. You know what, man? Yeah, I'm definitely putting these in any orders, man. Anyone that orders today is gonna get Yo MTV rap cards. That's the deal. Okay, once again, let's start it off. Ready? First card on the pile. MC Hammer, ladies and gentlemen. If you were too legit to quit, yeah. All right, let me read. So in the back, they got the Yo MTV facts. I love doing this. So let me read it, because this is always entertaining, the way they state these facts. Artist, MC Hammer. Name, Kirk Burrell. Yo fact. MC Hammer currently endorses Pepsi Cola and British Knight sneakers. Based in his native Oakland, California, he is presently overseeing the building of Busset Productions to groom and record up-and-coming stars. Label Capital. That's what he was into back then in I guess in the 90s, right? Is that when he appeared? I think. MC Hammer, ladies and gentlemen. There we go for MC Hammer. Let's give a little love to MC Hammer. Thank you. I don't know what's going on with my pads today, baby. Ooh, this one's a little different. Okay, we didn't get this last time. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. 3 times dope, son, from out of Philly, man. That's a good one right there. 3 times dope. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, let's read the Yo facts. 3 times dope. Name, EST, Robert Waller. DJ Woody Wood. Deward Beale, Chuck Nice, Walter Griggs. Those are their stage names and real names. Yo fact, 3 times dope draws its inspiration from Malcolm X, Alex Haley, Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, James Earl Jones, and Jasmine Guy. The Philadelphia-based group's debut album is titled Live from Aniculus Land. I never could pronounce that word. Label, Arista. Ladies and gentlemen, 3 times dope from out of Philly. Let's give him some love. Yeah, that's nice. Ooh, this is a nice card right here. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Here we go. Next. I will, Machiavelli, after the card reveal. Thank you for reminding me. I appreciate that. Thank you. Next. I know I got a lot of MC Hammer cards, man. Somebody's gonna get that when they order. Next, EPMD, son. Yeah, you got to chill. All right, artist, EPMD. Name, Eric Sermon and Parrish Smith. Yo fact, EPMD's first 2 albums, Strictly Business and Unfinished Business, were both certified gold. Sometimes we might talk about the gun as a weapon, says Eric, but our lyrics are also weapons to fight social problems. Label, Def Jam. Pretty deep. EPMD, ladies and gentlemen, yeah! Gotta love EPMD. Okay. Next. Third base, since I'm a product of the environment. There it is. Black and white. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, I think I read this one last time, but I'm going to read this one again. But as far as the doubles, I'm probably going to stop reading the doubles, man, because, wow, wait a minute. Okay, I'm going to put this with this because for some reason I got two very different third base cards in the pack. Very different, very different. Let me see if the facts are different. MC Search began his recording career as a solo rapper. Let me see. Third Base co-hosted the first anniversary of Yo MTV Raps with Run DMC and co-hosted the show again for a week during the 1989 New Music Seminar. These white rappers' musical roots are in New York's black community where they were raised. Okay. Third base, ladies and gentlemen, the gas face. Now, the rest of these I read last time, so I'm just going to show you. I'm not going to do any more yo facts, man, because now they're doubles, and it's like, yo, man, what the hell? Yes, Das Effects was the shit. I went on tour with Das Effects. Okay, Public Enemy. I read this last time. Public Enemy, you know, one of the most important groups in all of music. Slick Rick. Nice. There we go. The ruler's back, son. Belle Biv DeVoe. That girl is poison. Yeah. There we go. Super Lover C and Casanova Rudd. Do the Jane. Check a Jane. Brown. And of course, somebody mentioned it earlier. Boogie Down Production, KRS-One, ladies and gentlemen, there he goes. Boom, 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 boom. All right, and they got a Yo MTV Raps contest. I don't think this applies anymore. It's pretty old. These are from the 90s. But let's see if we win nothing. Sorry, try again. Boop. It's a lot of fun, man. Yo MTV Rap cards, man. I love doing that shit. Let me get another sip over here. So, okay, ladies and gentlemen, once again, so these next few episodes, I'm going to, be doing little recaps. And like I said, this year was more of a singles year for myself. I released 3 singles, and the 4th one is coming out next week. So all 4 of these singles that have been released this year were produced by the great Zach Baird, who was a keyboard player for Korn, Ghost, Everlast, and he also has worked with Beyonce. And Zach is somebody that when we were writing the first Stillwell album, we were actually he actually wrote one of our early demos that we didn't even get to put out. But overall, working with Zach has always been something that I wanted to do. So to be able to get these 4 singles out with Zach has been amazing. So he produced It's Not Over. He produced Let's Go Vamonos Andiamo. He produced Remember Me. And he co-produced with my son the final single that I'm going to put out this year for 2025. It's called Put It in the Air. It's a song about manifesting. And you could pre-save it if you go to the link in the YouTube bio, the link tree, or just go to qunique.com. It's the first one. Just click on it. You could pre-save it so you don't have to, forget about it when it drops. I actually appreciate it. And like I said, it's been an honor to work with him. He's an incredible musician. He plays a lot of different instruments, classically trained piano player. So it's been, when you get to do things like this in your career, it's really cool. And so this will be the 4th single with Zach, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. Check it out next week, December 12th. We'll talk about it on Friday Vibes with Q that day when it's out, and probably go over it and all that stuff. But that being said, Thank you, guys. We're gonna, you know where we going next. Hey, yo, Stutter, you know where we going next. We're about to hit the booth, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's this button here. Yep. And we go into the booth, ladies and gentlemen. So I'll meet you in the booth, all right? Let's do it. Hey, yo, Stutters, lower. I can't hear my, yo, Stutters, lower the beat a little bit. Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, it's been a single year for me, and so I want to start it off with the first single we dropped, It's Not Over. Produced by my homie Zach Baird, mixed by Scott Stallone. Over. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, Q-Unique. Another episode of Live from the Lab in the can. Thank y'all for hanging. Thank you for the super chats and the super stickers. I'll see you on Friday, Friday Night Vibes. Love y'all. Peace.